Hey friends, and welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to take you through some questions that we got about the wedding and different things like that. We did just do like a newlywed tag a couple of weeks ago that I'll link down below, but basically we answered some like overarching overall questions about the wedding in that. But these are some specific questions I got over on Instagram I thought might be interesting for me to talk to you guys about. So if you're interested in hearing about some questions from the wedding, then just keep watching. So if you guys didn't know, Ben and I got married June 8th. So when you guys are seeing this video, it'll be just about a month ago, maybe just over a month ago. I'm not sure when this video will go up. I'm trying to pre-plan some videos because we'll be in Nashville for a wedding for a few days. So yeah, we got married. We had about 35 people at our wedding. We did it in the backyard at Ben's parents' house, and it was perfect and beautiful, and we had a wonderful day, and I honestly couldn't have asked for anything else. And then we did our honeymoon in Laura, Michigan at a friend's house that he let us use for the week, and we just like hung out in little towns and went shopping. I got this dress. And then just hung out at home and read and just chilled for the week, and it was perfect. I feel like some people get wedding blues like after the wedding's over, and I definitely have honeymoon blues. But today I wanted to tell you guys a few of the questions that we got on Instagram. I'm looking over here because I have them all written down. But why don't we just get started? So the first question is, how did you keep the guest list down? So this is interesting. If you guys don't know the backstory of our wedding, which you probably don't, we had it initially planned for about 70 people at this beautiful place in Elgin, Illinois that we were in love with, and then some money issues hit and some relationship issues hit and some health issues hit, and we ended up having to cancel it. So then we moved it up north to my parents' house, which is where we were going to have the wedding, and it's actually where we're doing a reception later in the summer. But the guest list, in my opinion, got out of hand, and it was up to like 140 people, and they were people that Ben didn't even know. And yeah, so it also ended up being that we just couldn't afford to have it up there either, especially with like double the guest list. So then we moved it back down to Chicago finally and had it at Ben's parents' house. Like I said before, it was about 35 people. So we cut the guest list. It was actually easier when you do a small wedding. It's easier to tell people we're only inviting immediate family and our wedding party. So that's basically what we did. We invited our immediate family, which Ben's family is a little bit bigger than mine. So we had his parents and his two sets of grandparents, and then his siblings with their dates. And then for me, it was my parents, my sister. So that was it for family on my side. Then from there, we had our bridal parties, which there were 5 guys on Ben's side, 2 of which were family, and then 5 girls on my side, 2 of which were family. One was my sister, the other was Ben's sister. And yeah, and then everyone's dates. So that brought us up to like, I want to say like 25 people. And then we had our officiant, who's a friend of ours, and his date. So they were both there, him and his husband. And then we had, we weren't gonna invite anybody else. And then we decided that we would invite a few of our really close friends that lived in the area. The thing is, we didn't allow anyone to bring dates, which was kind of awkward. We can invite 10 of our friends, but we can't invite 20 people. So we can either invite 5 friends with their dates, or we can invite 10 friends with no dates. So for the most part, everybody understood where we were coming from. There were a few awkward conversations where I could tell people were a little thrown off by it, especially because all of my friends are married. So I was basically saying like, you can come, but your husband can't come, which is kind of weird, but that's what we had to do. And for the most part, like at least no one to my face was mad about it. So that worked out. We invited a few of our friends. I had a couple of women in the area that are my friends, a few of my coworkers that are also my friends that I invited, and then Ben invited a few of his friends as well that weren't in his wedding party. So yeah, that's how we kept the guest list down. It initially was just immediate family and our wedding party, which was really helpful. So that's what we did. And we were pretty particular about it. Like, there were other people that some people wanted to invite, and we were like, nope. So that's what we did. DIY decor, what did we do? I put this up in our other video, but basically we did most of it was DIY decor. My dad made lanterns for the tables, and we had like hanging flower stuff. Like Ben's parents did a whole bunch of stuff to their patio, and then what else did we do? We made drink stirrers at work. We made a cake topper. We made, what else did we make? Oh my gosh, so much stuff. We made like a guest book. We made signs. We made everything. So the next question is, did you write your own vows? Yes, we did. So Ben and I wrote our own vows. It's actually really funny. They were very similar. So really loved that part of the wedding. It was so fun. I'll leave my wedding video down below. You guys can go and watch it, and you can actually like hear our vows. But we didn't tell each other what we were doing, and our wedding vows were like almost identical. So it just shows you how very similar we are when it comes to certain things. Where did you get married? We got married at Ben's parents' house in Schaumburg, Illinois. Technically it was a different suburb, but it's close to Schaumburg, so anybody that's from Illinois knows kind of where Schaumburg is. It's just a suburb outside of Chicago. Next question was, they wanted to know what New Buffalo spots we hit on our honeymoon. So we stayed very close to New Buffalo. We went to places like Redemax, which had really good burgers. We went to a bunch of little like, what are they called? Like little stores throughout New Buffalo. We went to the Stray Dog, which is like one of my favorite places in New Buffalo. So we went mostly just eating was all that we did. Anytime we left the house, it was to eat. So yeah, I really liked going to Southern Michigan. It was super chill, and we had a really great time. The next question is, what do you wish you had skipped doing? Personally, I wish that we would have skipped doing the father-daughter mother-son dance. We did it together, thankfully, but like none of us really enjoy slow dancing. Like my dad, Ben's mom might, I don't even know. Ben doesn't like slow dancing. I don't like slow dancing. And then also our first dance. Like I had so many people when I said we weren't gonna do a first dance kind of like be like, no, you should do it. Like the pictures are amazing, blah, 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 blah. And I wish I wouldn't have listened to people, because we all felt so awkward and like everybody was watching us, and it just like wasn't something that we enjoy. So I'm not really anticipating the pictures to be all that great either, because we were all like, this is weird. So yeah, if I could go back, I would have just went with my gut and like not done it because we didn't want to, but it's fine. It was like 5 minutes of the entire day, so like not a big deal. But if I could go back and change anything, I would have skipped that. And the last question is, what do you wish you wouldn't have done, or what do you wish you didn't do? So for the most part, I don't want to change anything about the wedding. It was like the most perfect day. We had a wonderful time. The only couple of things I wish I could have changed about the wedding process, the wedding planning process, was I wish that we would have just went with our gut in the beginning. So I really wanted a beautiful wedding. I wanted like all these pretty things, but we live in one of the most expensive places to have a wedding, which is crazy to me because like Chicago is nothing special in my opinion. So it was so expensive to have a wedding done here, and we had thought, like Ben mentioned eloping, and I thought he was kidding. Like for me, I don't think I would have wanted to elope, but I would have liked to have done a destination wedding. So I would have liked to go somewhere like really far away and really only invite immediate family, and probably would have had a smaller guest list than we even had for this wedding. I wish we would have went with that, but I got distracted by all the prettiness of a wedding. He got distracted by hurting people's feelings, two things that they tell you not to worry about when you're wedding planning, but we still did. And I just wish that we would have went with what we wanted in the beginning. What we ended up having was very close to what we wanted in the beginning, so it ended up working out for us. But in the process, we spent a lot of money that we didn't get back. So we lost probably like $3,000 at least on the wedding. We had booked a different venue and we had already booked our food, and we had to cancel those, and we didn't get either security deposit back. So we lost about $3,000 for that. We were able to keep our photographer, thankfully, but yeah, we lost a lot of money for that kind of stuff, and it basically like went up into thin air. And like when I think about that, I just think about the $3,000 and like what I could do with it now. Like I could literally pay off one of my debts. So that sucks, but you live and you learn, and we ended up getting what we wanted. So yeah, so it ended up working out. But like, if there was one thing I wish we wouldn't have done, I wish that we wouldn't have listened to other people's opinions. I wish that we would have went with our gut, and I wish we wouldn't have booked a different wedding. I will say though, it would have been my dream wedding. It was at a very beautiful place, and it was like everything that I wanted at that time. So I don't regret that, because I think if I went back, I would still want that wedding there. It would have been like at least a $20,000 to $25,000 wedding, which we would have been able to pay for if we would have been able to continue to put like $1,000 toward the wedding every month, which in the end wasn't something we were able to do because we were hit with like so much craziness in last year. So yeah, that's the only thing that I wish we wouldn't have done. So if you're wedding planning, stop worrying about what everybody else thinks. Do what you want to do. Remember that it's only one day. Remember that it's going to go by so fast. And I know these are all things that people say. And if you have a lot of money to spend on your wedding, or if your parents are paying for all of it, like, you go, girl. Like, I would have loved to have a big, crazy wedding. Maybe not big with people, but like big meaning like beautiful and over the top. I like pretty things, I'm not gonna lie, but in the end, it doesn't matter. Like, we had such a great time having it at Ben's parents' house. We really loved it. Everything that was there, a friend or a family member or someone had helped with or had made for us or had bought for us. So it was like this whole big circle of love for an entire day, and it honestly couldn't have been any better. So yeah, I just wish that we wouldn't have worried so much about other people's opinions. That's my biggest thing. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for listening to me talk randomly about the wedding again. I don't know that I'm going to have a ton more wedding content, so if there's anything you'd like to hear, definitely let me know. But otherwise, we've kind of moved past the wedding. Anyway, y'all, I'm so excited for there not to be like the sounds of the street in the background pretty soon. We move in a couple weeks, so yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon in our next video.